Let me be the first to tell you all that softness is not a weakness. Let's talk about surrender in a hypermasculine world. This discussion is for the ones who were taught that in order to survive, you had to be strong. The ones that were taught that showing emotion is dangerous, that asking for help is weakness, that softness is just a liability. But let me challenge you all with this question. What if your softness was actually a superpower and your surrender is just you finally choosing you? Let's tap in and talk about this. Let's talk about the shadow of hyperindependence. Hyperindependence is too often praised in this world, especially in a world dominated by masculine traits such as control, toughness, stoicism, you name it, all of it is overly emphasized. But truthfully, hyperindependence is a trauma response. It's what happens when we've been disappointed way too many times and abandoned too. And it's at this point where we condition ourselves to believe I have to do it on my own or it just won't get done. And here's the shadow to that. You become guarded. You get closed off from receiving. You're exhausted from performing strength 24/7. You stop trusting others. You stop trusting God. Eventually, you stop trusting yourself. But softness, on the other hand, we've confused softness with weakness. And it's time that we reframe that. Softness is presence. Softness is openness. Softness is your courage to feel deeply, to stay instead of run, to lean in instead of shut down. To soften isn't about surrendering your boundaries. It's about surrendering the illusion of control. You see, when you find the courage to say, I don't have to grip so tight anymore, that act right there takes much more strength than pretending that you're unbothered. When you allow people to see you in your rawness, this is when you finally stop performing and you start living. Listen, y'all, I'm not going to sit up here in front of this camera and cap. Trusting after you've been betrayed, trusting after your childhood taught you otherwise, that shit ain't easy. But surrender isn't about trusting people blindly. It's about trusting your discernment, trusting your intuition, trusting your creator, trusting your path. Surrender simply says, I may not have all the answers, but I trust that my journey is going to unfold the way it is supposed to. It says, I don't need to armor up every day just to feel safe. I'm allowed to breathe. I'm allowed to receive. And that's power, not the kind that dominates, but the kind that magnetizes. To the divine masculines watching this, I want you all to know that softness doesn't make you less than a man. If anything, it makes you more dangerous in the best way, because you don't just carry strength, you carry presence. And presence, that's what heals. Divine feminine, you don't have to prove your worth by being the strongest in every room. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to receive. You're allowed to trust your softness without having to explain it. Surrender doesn't mean weakness. It means that you're in alignment. So if you're one of the ones out there that's been holding on to your hyper-independence like it's a survival tool, this is your invitation to lay it down, to trade in your performance for presence, and to trust that soft doesn't mean fragile. It means that you're free. And softness isn't your downfall. This is a sacred space for you to allow your strength the room to breathe. If today's discussion resonated with you, please share this video with someone who might need to hear it. Also, please subscribe and like to keep up with more content on holistic wellness, transformation, and healing. As always, own your energy, walk your path, and until next time, I'm sending you all so much love and light. Take care, my friends.